Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we work on Felipe's Taqueria from PSET 3 of CS50 Introduction to Python. Let's firstly read through the problem description and then we'll get started with the solution. One of the most popular places to eat in Harvard Square is Felipe's Taqueria, which offers a menu of entries per the dict below. Dict stands for dictionary, wherein the value of each key is the price in dollars. So we can see that there are some products listed and then their corresponding prices, right? In a file called taqueria.py, implement a program that enables the user to place an order, prompting them for items, one per line, until the user inputs Control D, which is a common way of ending one's input to a program. After each inputted item, display the total cost of all items inputted thus far, prefixed with a $sign and formatted to 2 decimal places. Treat a user's input case insensitively. Ignore any input that isn't an item. Assume that every item on the menu will be title cased. By the way, title cased just means that if you have more than one word, every new word will be capitalized, but you still keep the spaces between them, right? So it's not Pascal case, it's title case. Okay, so one very common approach when we want to iterate until the user inputs Control D is to basically have a while true loop which works as long as we have valid input, and then it ends if we receive the EOF error, which stands for end of file error, which basically means that you've hit Control D, right? This is the approach that I will use and the most common one that you see. Before we move to our IDE, let's just copy this dictionary, which we'll obviously need for the solution of the problem. Now I'll go to my file, and first thing I'll do is I'll just create a variable for this dictionary. I'll call it, for example, menu, and I'll just paste the value that I copied from Harvard's website. Okay, that's our menu, and we'll also have to keep track of the total price, so I can create a variable called total price, which of course will start at 0. I don't need a semicolon, that's a JavaScript habit, don't mind me. But it starts from 0, and then as we keep reading new and new products that are bought, we'll add to this variable. So this is just a temporary default value. Okay, from here, we would like to get started with the loop, right? So we have to have a loop that iterates again and again and again until the user decides to stop inputting values. So I'll create a while true loop like this. And inside of here, as I already mentioned, I'll have a try except block, which will try reading some input. But if we get the EOF error, which is basically the end of file error, then we'll break out of the loop. Okay, so I have try, and I'll fill that in a little bit later, but before that, I'll just write except. The type of error, as I mentioned, is called EOF error. And if we get this error, we want to break out of the loop. So if the user clicks Control D, this means that we'll get to the break statement and we'll just end the loop there. But before that, of course, what we'll do is we'll read the user's input. So I'll say product equals inputs. And now I can just prompt them. Let me see what prompt is used in the example. So the prompt here is just item colon. So that's what we use too. Item colon. And it's very important to remember that we need the user's input to match the casing of the menu items, right? And if we go back to the description of the problem, there is a link for the title cased word. And if we open it, we'll actually be redirected to Python's documentation, which mentions a title method that we can use in order to get the title cased version of a string, which is perfect, right? Because now I can go back to my IDE, and once I've read the user's input, I can specify that I want it to be title cased, like this. Okay, once I have the product, before I try to get the price, I need to make sure that the product is mentioned in the menu, because the user might enter something invalid, right? So I'll say if the product is present in the menu, then I would like to find its price. So how do we do this? I'll firstly write it out and then I'll explain how it works. So this will be menu of products. So this is the syntax for getting the value of a certain key. So let's say that product is taco, right? What we do here is we say, please go to the menu dictionary. That's our menu dictionary, right? The whole thing. And find the value corresponding to the taco product. The taco product is here. The corresponding value is, in this case, $3. So that's the price that we're going to obtain. And once we have the price, we need to add it to the total price. So I'll just say total price plus equals price. Last step, once I'm done with this, I need to print the total, right? With every new purchase, we need to reprint the total value. I need to go back here just to show you how it looks. So they buy a burrito and we have the total price. Then they buy a large quesadilla and we have, this one is obviously invalid. So that's why we didn't see the total after that. But this one is valid, super quesadilla, and we got the total price. So if I go back, we need to print the total, right? Print total, but this is not enough for two main reasons. Firstly, we need to have the $sign before the total, if I remember correctly. Let me double check. Yes, we need a $sign. So how can we do this? Well, actually, we also need a total heading, right? So firstly, I'll use a formatted string. I'll say total $, and now I will input the value of my total price, by the way, variable, right? It's not just total, I code it total price. And one more thing, they wanted me to format my string to 2 decimal places. So the way we can do this is before the variable itself, I will write in quotations, curly braces, colon, dots, 2F. Now, I know this looks really weird. It looks like some sort of cryptic language. It's strange, but that's how it looks. This is what we use in order to format. And then we also have to say dot format and then the variable, right? So first you specify the format you want. Then you write the format method, and inside of the parentheses of the method, you pass in the value that you want to format, right? So it's a little bit confusing, but it's just a syntax that you sort of have to remember. Or you can Google it, of course. You don't have to remember every single piece of syntax. All right, I think we're actually ready to test our code. So if I run Python taqueria.py, let me firstly choose, nachos, which is $11. Okay, then we want to add a taco, which is $3, so the total should move to 14. Fantastic. And then, if I want to actually stop it, I can do Control D, and it should stop asking for inputs, which works pretty well. Now, it's a little bit annoying that the directory I'm currently in is displayed next to the remainder of the prompt. So I would personally like to move to the next line. And what I can do is before breaking out of the loop, I can just say print. This is going to add a new line. And this should fix the visual issue. So I'll just try doing taco and then Control D. And that looks much better, right? Okay, let me test it with check 50. So here we go. Back to the IDE. Paste, and let's see what will happen. All right, we can see that all of the tests are green, which means that our solution passed successfully. That was everything for this tutorial. I hope you found it helpful and interesting, and I'll see you in the next one.